When it comes to having a discussion about polygyny and whether or not you're interested, are you able to say, yeah, as a man, I am interested? Or if you changed your mind and maybe you're practicing monogamy, or maybe you're single and you want to have more than one wife, and are you going to be at a sit down and let your potential wife know, or prospect of somebody you are interested in, that you're interested in polygyny? Or are you going to front? Assalamu alaikum, peace. I am Coach Nazir, one of the founders of Outstanding Personal Relationships, as well as one of the authors of Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored. Now, here's the deal. There are 6 main reasons men fail when it comes to polygyny. I'm gonna share these 6 reasons with you. It's kind of like, the cheat sheet to give you an evaluation of yourself if you're considering polygyny. And there are many different ways and circumstances and situations, but most of the challenges where people fail come back to one or more of these 6 things. So if you have something to write with, something to write on, you already are in the lead. So make sure you take notes, or if you want the worksheet, everything that I'm going through right now, make sure you go to outstandingpersonalrelationships.com/men to go ahead and grab it for free. All right, so this is in no particular order. The challenge is, again, most people fail because of these reasons. So there's not a specific order, even though I've heard many different ways and things and all that kind of stuff that comes from each of these. So the first one, let's talk about lack of mental fortitude. Lack of mental fortitude. Like, okay, what does that mean, Coach Nazir? Well, that means you may love the idea of polygyny. You may understand that you're biologically set for it and everything, right? But you're not willing to do the work that it takes. So increasing your mental fortitude means that you going to have different dynamics that are not just traditionally accepted, especially in Western society. They prefer to have boyfriends, girlfriends, mistresses, jump down, thoughts, keep on going, right? Just go roll with it. That's normal. That's acceptable. But practicing polygyny, that's something that's noble. That's something that's honorable. We're talking about marriage. It's not a boyfriend, girlfriend thing, not an in and out thing, none of that. But if you lack the mental fortitude to become a better leader, to get your other skills up, to be able to deal with the haters, to deal with talk from all around the place, then you're not going to be able to make it. All right, that's going to affect not only your own sanity, but any type of things you try to put together within your relationships. So lacking mental fortitude. Are there remedies for this? Of course. You got to work on this. You need to work on this. That's extremely important. Now, what I mean, increase your skill set. Increase your skill set. And I'm going to circle back around to it, but I'm going to talk about the other lacks also, because there's 5 more and I don't want this video to go that long. The second, lacking the ability to communicate well. Lacking the ability to communicate well. Not just in articulation of what it is you're trying to express or elaborate on. That's not what I mean. The main thing is being dishonest. Dishonest. When we say honesty is a virtue, and it really is, it's something that's respected all across the world. Liars aren't liked, have never been liked all throughout history. All right, it's caused many problems and challenges. We don't like it. We get disappointed when we see our children do it, especially when they're young toddlers and things like whoa, what's going on here? All right, it's a bad thing. Now, when I say dishonest, having the ability to be honest despite all other things is something that's commendable, is noble, and is a rarity. When it comes to having a discussion about polygyny and whether or not you're interested, are you able to say, yeah, as a man, I am interested? Or if you changed your mind and maybe you're practicing monogamy, or maybe you're single and you want to have more than one wife, and are you going to be at a sit down and let your potential wife know, or prospect of somebody you are interested in, that you're interested in polygyny? Or are you going to front? Nah, listen, being honest up front, because it's a rare trait these days, and people would love to accept and purport beautiful lies than what they consider an ugly truth. It's much easier to digest. But the fact is, when you're being real, that's something that's respected. When you're being authentic, not telling your truth and somebody else has their truth and then there's their truth. No, we're talking about the truth. All right. Honesty. Where, oh, you're not saying this, you playing games, or this other woman over there, or something's not over, and she's still contacting and calling you, and you're afraid because what you have in your phone, and they can't have a passcode or pin code. You got to protect what you. Come on, man. What? Honesty. All right. Lacking that, meaning you're dishonest. The lack of the ability to communicate well, meaning being honest is at the top of that list. Of course, there are other things that go along with it, but let's just start right there, because that's one that kills successful polygynous relationships from the get. Third, lack of vision. Lack of vision. See, many times when people think about polygyny, they think of this one man and there's two women or multiple women and all that, and it just turns into this big old sexual orgy looking type thing, or just some sexual thing, right? And though, of course, if you're gonna be married to someone, sex is a part of that. All right, and that's a natural, instinct that we have. So being honest, yeah, of course, that's a person that you want to be with intimately. Duh. Okay. But when you have this fantasy, there's these threesomes and foursomes and moresomes and all this, and this is what it is, and you lacking vision for actually what you want to do in polygyny. All right. And I'm sharing that as a man that is married to two women for over 13 years now, that has 10 biological children with my wives. All right. And then I also have 2 bonus children. So that's a dozen children. Yeah, they range in age from, the mid-20s on down to 5 years old. But I'm building. You know what I'm saying? We're working on a dream. We're traveling the world. We are giving our children experiences that they've never had, that I've never had with growing up. When we talk about breaking generational curses, all right, we're talking about doing things different and leading and making a decision to stop certain things and to open up an entirely different world. That's what we're doing. But to have that vision takes a man of vision. So lacking that vision will not attract the type of women that are looking to build, that are looking to grow on a whole nother level. So lacking vision, you end up with thoughts and but now I'm not even going to go into that. So the next is lacking fiscal intelligence. Lacking fiscal intelligence. Yes, fiscal. Being fiscally unfit, meaning that you ain't got your money right. All right, or you're not at least striving, you're not ambitious, or you're not driven, and you're not an entrepreneur, you're not an investor, or maybe you're just in the E quadrant. You know what I'm saying? So many women, rightfully so, get a little concerned when now their husband wants another wife. With their husband, you're working like 60 hours a week. What time, what quality time are you gonna have for multiple wives if that's what you're doing? Again, going to that vision now, maybe it might be you work 60 hours a week because you're headed toward a certain goal or setting a certain thing that you're setting. All right, but again, you need that vision. But being, lacking fiscal fitness, and you think, okay, I'm gonna marry this wife, and this wife, they're gonna work and they're gonna do these things. And look, I'm not of that ilk. Now, you can do it and set things up how you want, but I'm talking about those who usually are successful. Many men are successful in polygyny because they have traditional wives and they take on traditional gender roles, meaning they're the breadwinners. You're bringing in the money. Now, if you want to start some businesses with your wives or you invest together, something like that, I think that's much wiser than having traditional jobs, especially if you're talking about building and you have a family, you want children involved and stuff like that, because we want people to raise children that share our values. You're not going to find that in daycare centers or passed off to this relative and that relative, or you struggling over here, she's struggling. We all just going to struggle together, have struggle love and polygyny. Nah, should be based on struggle love. All right. So lacking fiscal intelligence. Then we got lacking discipline. Lacking discipline. Again, falling in love with the idea, but not putting in the work. I think it was Jim Rohn who, when I first heard the statement that discipline weighs ounces and regret weighs tons. Discipline weighs ounces and regret weighs tons. Ask the people who had their first heart attack, which is usually the first sign of having heart issues, is that heart attack, and only half of them make it. Well, they didn't know. It wasn't the first French fry and burger or, pork rib that you were sucking on that caused the problem. Maybe it was the 4,500th one. I don't know. It wasn't the first cigarette somebody just smoked and all of a sudden they fell over and died and got cancer. But maybe it was the 100,000th. I don't know. But success does leave clues. So discipline matters. Not having your head on a swivel when something that goes by that look like it just attracts you just by your biology as a man. All of a sudden you're looking over here and your eyes are just peering, you're not satisfied, you don't have a clear vision with where you want to go. Lacking self-discipline and lacking discipline from one area of life pours into other areas of your life. So if you're lacking it with financial, then you're probably lacking it with your physical health. You're lacking with physical health, probably spiritually. So your goals, you don't have any, serious goals or morals or noble values that are driving you. Lack of self-discipline, nobody likes that. None. That means you cannot be counted on. It means you lack the ability to even be described as reliable. Somebody can count on you. All of those things are important, especially in polygyny. Then, of course, there is lacking courage. This is really one of the big ones. And many brothers don't want to admit it. And I know why. I mean, you don't want to not be known as courageous. You know what I'm saying? As a man, and bravery, that's a masculine thing. We got to provide and protect, right? Well, here's the thing. What I mean by lacking courage is you got to right your wrongs. You do something wrong. You didn't get it right. Maybe you changed your mind. You weren't interested in polygyny, then you are interested in polygyny. You have to have this communication. Or, you got to have a conversation about this stuff. You're not trying to go and get married and then come with it later and things like that. I mean, I did that. I was lacking courage. I didn't know how to do this. I had other things in order, but this was one I was struggling with to begin with because I didn't want to hurt my initial wife's feelings and stuff like that and so on. I'm trying to see how this is going to work and everything. And then by doing that, then I was delaying the success of it. So I had to go through a whole bunch of stuff that now we don't, share or, we don't go and say, oh yeah, you can do it this way or do it this way. We share with you what the best practices are. We want you to keep your honesty. You want to keep the trust. You want to keep all these things in line in order to be successful at polygyny and still be respected as the man. Because again, that man has a lot on his shoulders. You have a serious responsibility that comes with it. Polygyny is marriage. This ain't some jump down, just, go have, intimate relations with to, be PG rated. This ain't that. That's easy. You know what I'm saying? It's immoral. It's, spiritually wrong. Yeah, but it's easy. It's much easier to do that than to marry somebody. So when they just, it's just for your lustful desires, understand that's just a knee-jerk response. But lacking courage can make it look that way. All right? So going back to mental fortitude, we have to recognize that we are in progress. We haven't made it, haven't achieved it, haven't got there yet. Even if you're already married in polygyny, there's still work to do. There's growth to be had. So demonstrate your leadership by becoming better. So I'm going to ask you, man to man, what are the next 5 books that you plan to read this year, this month, even this week? What are the last 5 books you read? That's 10. You should be, if you get one good idea from each of those, you should have 10 good ideas that should positively impact your life. But what are the last 5? And if you don't have a last 5, you can't remember them, but there's some fictional books, some Harry Potter type stuff, then again, recognize where the problem lies. That's one area. What are you doing for your physical fitness? What are you doing for your spiritual fitness? What about your fiscal fitness? All of these things matter. So if you want to succeed versus fail, then watch this video again. Take notes on it again, or better yet, get the worksheet. Download it, get the notes. outstandingpersonalrelationships.com/men. I look forward to helping you get your shift together if you want to travel along this beautiful road of polygyny and do it in a healthy fashion. With that, I'm Coach Nazir. Assalamu alaikum. Peace.